Hello guys, welcome. So, why did I say that? Okay, let me restart from the beginning. Hello everyone, Zekam11, I usually do these update videos every so often, and when I do, actually, it's something important for the channel. As I've been starting to stream now, I've been streaming constantly for about almost 2 months. 2 months is actually been a long time. Well, kind of for me, because when I first started YouTube, I did mostly videos. I did videos basically for the technically first 2 months until Sun and Moon came around. And when Sun and Moon came around, well, I stopped doing YouTube for a long time. I was too focused on playing Sun and Moon, and then I just got kind of bored of trying to do YouTube content, and that kind of led to the low shift of not doing anything for a long time, until I came back around literally a month, like about several weeks to a month after Fire Emblem Heroes came out. Then I did the Fire Emblem Heroes episode, where of course I just did some of the Radiant Dawn maps at the time, and that was kind of the starting point of technically doing Fire Emblem Heroes content. And what you're seeing right now, I just want to go back to this. What you guys are seeing right now, it's not a camera. It's technically my phone. I kind of wish I had a camera, but I don't really have the money. Now that will be, I'm going back to this point, what I'm saying right now, until later of this update video, because it's important. But of course, I'm actually using a glass cup and a 3DS, just to show you guys. Glass cup and 3DS, and of course all that other stuff, wrappers and my wallet, of course. But that's technically what I'm having right now to hold up the phone. Anyway, I want to go back to the story, because that was technically where I started with Fire Emblem Heroes. Technically, I've been playing Fire Emblem Heroes since the game released. I've played Fire Emblem since Awakening, when it first actually came out. I actually downloaded on my old 3DS. I mean, one of these days I do want to do 3DS content. It's just I don't have a capture card. So, yeah, that sucks. But I did actually start playing Fire Emblem Awakening on this 3DS. It's still on this 3DS. It's just that it's like the only game because of how big it is, and this doesn't actually have the SD. Well, kind of does, I think. It does have the SD card, yeah. But can't really hold that much compared to the new 3DS I have. The new 3DS actually has several downloaded games. For instance, of course, Fire Emblem Warriors. Anyway. So, I have played Fire Emblem Heroes, Fire Emblem for some time now, and for Fire Emblem Heroes. I think after I did that, I started doing other content. I think I went back to Plants vs. Zombies, because so much has updated. And then I can't, of course, as continued, I did another Fire Emblem Heroes episode, the second one. Now, with the second one, I actually did 40 orb summoning. At that time, I was full free to play. I was full free to play. I did not spend any dimes on it at that time. And I ended up getting a 5-star boy. I probably, you know what? I'm going to do it. There's going to be a lot of things before I actually start live streaming today, because it's literally an hour before I actually start live streaming, but I may end up putting the live stream a little bit black just for this update video. This update video is going to be live streamed an hour before, and probably moving everything back just for this update video, because this update video is important, okay? Anyway, so after I did that, I wanted to, at the time, I basically, kind of got bored during the summertime. After I did that, and I did a little bit of Plants vs. Zombies 2, I just kind of got bored, and I just didn't do any more content for YouTube during the whole summer. Fun fact, I would have came back a lot earlier doing YouTube stuff during January with Pixelmon. But the problem was I didn't have a good enough. I still don't have a good enough computer to do Pixelmon, because with the whole Nintendo taking it down, and then two new versions come out with two different people working on it, and it's a competition and all these new Pokemon, the game needs a lot more RAM, and so at the moment, I don't have enough RAM for my computer. That will also, there'll be a reason why the last thing we're talking about will help out that. Where was I going with this? Oh, yes. Continuing on back to where I stopped. During the whole summertime, I did not do any Fire Emblem Heroes content, and with that, I kind of lost interest in the mobile scene. If you guys don't know, by that time, I actually, for my birthday, probably like several weeks before my birthday, ended up getting a PlayStation 4. Now, that was kind of the reason why I didn't do any mobile content, because I was playing Persona 5 on my PS4. And that's what I've been doing, like, I've been chilling out, I've been doing all sorts of stuff on console, and that kind of was the reason why I didn't do any content. And at the time, I still was trying to figure out what I was solely doing for college. Like, I knew I was going into the IT, but I didn't know what exactly yet. And the same thing went for what kind of content I wanted to do for this channel. Now, at the time, I was just doing all sorts of stuff. I was doing mobile, I was doing PC, I was thinking about doing PlayStation. I probably will get to PlayStation or PC in the future, but I kind of went back, college stuff done, and then after about a month in, I think I went back to the mobile scene, and I checked out, I saw new videos, and then eventually I started watching those, and eventually got to see new Fire Emblem Heroes creators, and not actually seen them in real life, I meant like actually watch them, and Nimius, and of course, that kind of sparked my feeling to live stream, or of course, eventually do content again. So then I was like, okay, do I want to do actual videos, or do I want to live stream? And that came around to live stream. Now, when I first started doing live stream, no one was watching me at all. Like, no one. I mean, there would be 1 to 2 person coming back on, but so far, no one. Until literally like 3 to 4 live streams later, and I think about 1 to 2 weeks, a certain fellow by the name on this, of course, on YouTube is Unwanted Fortune, or on Discord is, of course, Jasmine. Something close to that, I'm probably butchering that Discord name. But, of course, I told him the stories I had, and eventually we, of course, got to know each other. We talked during the live stream. I was, at the time, training Tobin and some other characters. It was just before the, I think it was like a month before the mini Tempest trials. And so, we kinda became friends. And he did help make the Discord channel. That's why he's a mod. He's also an admin on Discord. And in the future, I don't know if he wants to be the manager of Discord. It's all up to him on Discord Rise. But from there on, we got more viewers. And eventually, we got, of course, Autumn. And everyone else. Then we eventually got Divas. And then we eventually got Fireboy. And then Skips. And then everyone else. And new people coming on. And then eventually I got to the point where I was just doing the black screen one, like only this kind of content, like if you don't have an actual like OBS, you're not streaming through OBS, you don't have any screens or anything on the side, it's just the gameplay. That's what it used to be, but I eventually got to the point where I needed to change that. And then comes around to Nimius. He actually started watching some of my content. Like, he noticed me. And, I did follow him, like, one night on Twitch. And, of course, I watched him on Twitch more because YouTube side of things, his YouTube side of things doesn't work with him always. So, of course, I watched him. And with that, you know, he knows me. And then eventually I got to the point where I talked to him, and he said, well, best bet, you know what, OBS, and get better look, stream with an overlay, all this stuff, like I already knew that, But then it came to me that, hey, I probably should. And of course, some of you guys were already common viewers, and then all of a sudden you guys saw, oh geez, you have an actual overlay. And eventually I, of course, added more to it as time went on. New banners, new summoning, and now here we are. Still doing more stuff with the overlay, still making the streams a lot better, Nightbot 2, so that you guys can request songs, and it's just I want to have the streams interactive. And one of the main features of that was, of course, the 5-star voting. Now, if you guys don't know and you're new to the channel, 5-star voting is basically when we get to a certain amount of views. For instance, we're almost to 4,000 views in total on YouTube. And when we make it, you guys get to vote for the next 5-star. And it has to be 5-star I don't have, of course. So it's up to you guys how good or bad the character may be. And last 2 times, just if you guys are curious, Nino was the first one. I mean, technically it's actually Reinhardt who won first, and then it was Nino. And now, it seems like Laszlo may win this time, but that can change. The thing about this live stream, I do it as well just so that I can get live feedback, and then votes can change, and there could be more people who actually decides to join the channel or already joins Betrain and votes for their one character they want to be a 5-star. And it's a nice way for you guys with interaction of the streams. And so far, my channel has been kind of growing. Since there was nothing happening at the time, before I started live streaming, of course, when people watched, high views. Some videos have gone extremely well, than some that are kind of good. For instance, the summoning for the Halloween banner is kind of good right now, but the ones that are extremely good so far has been Era, because Era has been the talk of the town. And I did kind of do a clickbaitish thumbnail. Again, why I can't remember it. And so far, we have been in a stump right now. What most YouTubers have is like this big, deep hole they go down to, and you basically be stuck in there for a long time. And as the channel right now, we actually are. Lately, I noticed that the channel subscribers have been going up, and then it has hit like 38 subscribers. And it has been happening several times now, where we got recently to 40, but now we already have 39 subscribers. And it's like, what? And right now, we're kind of like in this small subscriber hole. Like, it's this hole that we can't escape through yet, but when we do, the channel's gonna be big. I can already say that right now. With what I have planned in the future, it could be very big. Of course, we have to see. I'm not gonna give up on YouTube at all, if you guys are wondering. Like, my goal for this channel, unless I die, that would be bad. That would be really bad. But, per se, even if I don't get any views, even if I don't get any subscribers, I will still do YouTube content. Let's say that all of you guys that are watching my content just left, and there was no views on this update video. I will still do content. I will still do live streams. That's because I kind of like doing it. Even though I like computer savvy stuff, I do want to become a programmer. I don't know what in, but I do want to become a programmer. But I like doing YouTube videos better, and it's just, I guess it's the social aspect to it, as well as how fun it can be in the live streams. There's some crazy stuff I went through in games that are like, glitches, and like all this stuff. I kind of wish you guys were there, and it's a great time, and that's what I want for the streams to be. So, it comes now down to money. Why I want to talk this aspect is because I eventually need to get money, and I can't just work on nothing. And right now, it's good because I'm still in the first year of college. with that, I still have lots of times before I can, actually go in the world. And with that, I'm borrowed time, essentially. And that is why I came around to Patreon. Now, of course, around the time that Jasmine, of course, started watching my content, most of the time he's not usually on stream, but he usually does watch it off stream just because of how his schedule works. Lately he has been getting back onto the normal streams. He just doesn't watch it all the way through, which I don't mind. But he does watch it. And when I did Patreon, he was like, wait, why are you doing Patreon? It's because in the future, which is now, I will be adding Patreon. Now with Patreon, you can support your content creator, and the content creator can give bonuses for doing it, but it also helps the content creator to live on, the money, get better equipment, all sorts of stuff. My plans, if you do I'll have it in the description below, is my Discord link. Now, I'm not forcing you guys to. This video is just an update to say, oh, hey, updates of how the channel's gone, like the whole history, and now, Patreon. And the whole thing about Patreon is, even if it's just $5, which of course is only $1 and $5 Patreon subscriptions you can do, $5 is kind of a lot for someone at this size right now. And with the amount of money I have, I can save it for, of course, equipment, better live streams, faster internet speeds, just so that we can... Stupid fly. Probably guys saw that. Better live streams, better video quality, maybe in the future better mics. I mean, I already have an Elgato. I could do PlayStation, but at the moment I don't really have a good setup for doing something like PlayStation gameplay. I don't really have a TV monitor. I have like a normal Dell monitor that's like old, that uses a VGA. And I still have a VGA connection to my computer, of course. But in the future, I do need to start either upgrading or get something new if something does not work. Now, if my laptop computer just doesn't work one day and I can't have it work, I need a new computer, that's bad for me, because then I lose all my stuff, of course. I can get back to it. It's not that hard to make the content I've already made. But basically, I will be down, and I will not be able to make any content unless I do it, of course, through mobile. If that happens, that's bad, and that is why I'm starting to do Patreon now, so that I can get ahead of the curve, so that you guys can support me now. It's not it's optional. I don't want to say it's not optional, but it is optional that if you want to or not. And it does help me greatly, because at this moment in time, I need better equipment, but I just don't have the money. I'm in college right now, I'm trying to do college stuff, and I've been able to get live streams daily for you guys. Well, not daily, because some days I just can't because of the work I have for college. So, it's not just Patreon anymore, but I also want to get into schedule. Now, I'm not trying to make this long because I do have limited amount of space on my phone, and it exactly says 37 minutes. We're going to try to make this faster than 37 minutes, okay? Schedule. Monday through Friday will always be live streamed unless something catastrophic happens with my family, or someone related, or something to me, or being sick, like throwing up, fever kind of deal. Of course, I won't be doing it. But for the most part, Mondays through Fridays, I will always get to you guys on live streams. And that's usually at 4 p.m. Central Time Zone. I always do it at 4 p.m. That's when of course, my stepdad leaves for work, and literally no one is home for about 30 minutes. Until, of course, Doggy Emblem happens, and my brother gets home. So, that happens. But for the most part, it's not too distracting for, of course, you guys. And most of the time, I usually do about 2 hours of live streams, so it's kind of a hefty live stream anyway. Most live streams are Well, yeah, and even with mobile game, it's kind of difficult sometimes because there's not enough content. And so that is why I've also been doing, of course, different games. Now, sidetrack a little bit, but we're going to go back to the schedule. Saturdays and Sundays. One of those days will, be, of course, be a day off for me. Or I will try to, unless I feel like it, and I do. Because of that, I usually have 6 days that I live stream. That's good for you guys, but at least one of them is not. And that's going to be apparent for most of the time, but sometimes maybe not. It might be just 7 days completely, and then the next week maybe just 6 days, and next week may just be something happens and it's be 5 days. Who knows? For the most part, I will try to have live streams on Saturdays, and then live streams not on Sundays. That's my goal. That is, like, my true goal is to have live streams at least on Saturdays. Just because in Sundays, you guys have something to, like, work to do, and I have something work to do, and it might be a good break for everyone. So, I'll cover the whole process, for the schedule. So I guess we'll probably make it, I probably won't do, like, an actual fully schedule. I'll just probably, yeah, I think this is good enough, part to it to make sense. Like, every day will at least be 4 p.m. Central from Monday through Friday. Saturday is either really early in the morning, like 8 a.m.-ish, which could be completely different for you guys, or it could be very late in the evening, probably like 5-ish or like some hours later. But for the most part, I want to try to get Saturdays in too, but Sundays may not. It could be Saturdays I don't get in, but Sundays I do. Who knows? That's the interesting thing about it. Anyway. Trying to see, because the camera's... Anyway, I need to... Anyway. I think that's pretty much it for the update video. History. How the channel went and how things gone. And then, of course, Patreon. I also want to get back to the whole camera thing and this whole phone jackpot. Yeah, Patreon will help. It will be a lot of money, though. And one of these days, I do want to do a 24-hour live stream. And if you guys don't know, 24 hours is a lot. So my goal, of course, is for the 24-hour live stream. I may end up doing it on the weekends. It will be having to be on the weekends. And I'll see. When, though? I don't know. Too many flies around here. Fly season. It's not duck season, it's fly season. Anyway, Patreon-wise, I will put it in the description below. I'll say that again. It's up to you guys. I don't know if you can fully do it yet. It did say when, of course, I set it up that it will take several days before it's ready. I think it's ready. I think there's been enough days for it to be active, and you guys can, of course, be a Patreon. There is, of course, the $1 and $5 donations. It's up to you guys. You can check it right now if you want to. There is some perks to it, like, for instance, if you decide to vote for the next 5-star, you get 2 votes instead of 1. So there's something for you guys if you decide to do the $5 one. I did go over them today just to see what I could do, and at the moment, I don't really have a great system for it. I probably will add a lot more to it in the future. It's just right now, I don't know what to put. But until the channel grows and then we figure out what we do mostly, then I'll change it. And of course, scheduling. Today, yeah, I'll probably end up making this just a tad bit. I'll probably stream a little bit later if I can. Yeah. I'm just looking at the time right now, and I'm probably gonna have to put this later. Anyway. So, yeah. Update video Gonzala. 24 minutes. I'm not gonna do any editing in this video just because of... I don't really have the time to edit anything, and I don't really have an editing software yet. I use Camtasia. It's really easy, actually, get the 30-day trial version of Camtasia. All you need to do is just uninstall it, then reinstall it, and you're Gucci. But for the most part, I don't really have a full editing software. So it goes back to Patreon again, but Patreon, just as a clarification, just before we end the video, is a paid transaction that supports the content creator for a monthly subscription. And you can do higher versions, because you can make it like a anarchy, like you do like $1 is like 3-star, 4-star be like $5, and it's like $50 is a 5-star, something like that. I don't know. I kind of did that for like the names, but you can get better stuff as you go higher, and I can make limits on the highest rank and all this jazz. There's a lot I can do with Patreon, and I just haven't really got to it yet. I do have Patreon and kinda Streamlabs, but the problem with Streamlabs right now is you can't do any donations because I'm not that far in advance with how many views. I don't have monetization, I don't have enough followers, subscribers. I'm not that huge yet for me to actually do monetization, but I can do Patreon. It helps me, though. It does help me. It's up to you guys. I'm not forcing anyone. So, take it as you will. I guess we're gonna end it for now. Of course, you know who I am. I'm Secom11. And I'll see you guys in today's live stream. Or in the next video / live stream. Anyway, I'll see you guys later.